Germany, France, Italy, and Spain are the latest countries to halt the use of AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine. There are concerns that the shots may be linked to an increased risk of blood clots. Joining us right now is Dr. Zeke Emanuel. He's the Vice Provost of Global Initiatives at the University of Pennsylvania. He also served on President Biden's Coronavirus Advisory Board and, of course, as a White House health policy advisor in the Obama administration. He is the author of the book, Which Country Has the World's Best Health Care? And Dr. Emanuel, let's just jump right to this. These concerns about the AstraZeneca vaccine, are they founded in anything?
Well, they're certainly founded in cases. There are 37 cases that AstraZeneca itself has out of 17 million people getting the vaccine. That's 2 people per million. These are the kind of numbers you see on rare side effects from vaccines. I think there's a concern in countries. The data aren't overwhelming, and I think given the fact that this blood clot number is about what you would see, it's a little hard. On the one hand, a lot of the regulators are saying, oh, no big worry. The data suggests that this is sort of normal background numbers. And then you have these halts. And I think regulators and governments need to be quite clear about it. It may be that people are trying, or the governments are trying to respond to people's worries about the vaccine and not necessarily the data, because a lot of people do not. Our reactions don't necessarily follow the data. They follow more emotional responses to these kind of things.
I mean, it seems to me that this is a situation that it's pretty dire. We get some additional information quickly and make some decisions based on the science with it, particularly when you look at the situation in Europe just for COVID. They're behind us in terms of vaccinations, and as a result, they have seen a spike in cases going back up there. What's the more dangerous position?
You're absolutely right. And they've also not done a great job in terms of ordering vaccine, relying very heavily on the AstraZeneca vaccine as opposed to other vaccines. And so I think it does put them in a bit of a quandary about needing to vaccinate a lot of people to control the variants that are spreading pretty rapidly there. Countries like Britain that have done a very good job of vaccinating their population, despite having the variants, are seeing a drop in the number of coronavirus cases, and that's very important for getting a handle on this. It is a big worry that Europe just doesn't have that many people vaccinated. I've interviewed people from a lot of countries like the Netherlands and Norway, and it's just been very slow rollout there. And one consequence is what you might call the third spike for them.
So, Zeke, just back to the blood clotting issue. This is different than the anaphylactic allergic reaction that sometimes you see with vaccines. Are other vaccines in the past have been known to have blood clots as a side effect? And what is how does it happen? Does it involve the immune system, and it makes? I'm just wondering, as a doctor, whether you could tell us the actual sequence of events that would lead to that.
Well, there seems to be at least 2 paths here. Norway just reported a case that they had. It's a small country, 4.5 million people, so you wouldn't expect a lot of cases there, where the number of platelets dropped tremendously, that you seem to have a lot of clotting, and so the platelet number went down. It can be a response, and we think that, by the way, the blood clotting that has been associated with COVID is a response not of the sort of cellular immunity, but of what's called complement, that the immune system excites complement, and then complement can cause the clotting. This is a well-known pathway. Actually, it's a pathway, ironically, I studied in the early 80s when I was in Oxford as a master's student. And that does seem, we know that it was possible with the actual virus, and it may be possible with the vaccine. But again, I think we need to put it in context. 37 people out of 17 million, your risk of dying of COVID are much higher than 2 in a million. And I think that that needs to be put into context. It's a terrible consequence, to have a stroke or some other die of serious blood clot. But COVID is not nice either, and it does cause a lot of morbidity that we're just beginning to learn about.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.